I am super, super excited. Thank you so much. You can hear me. Please go to the chat box and tell me where you're connecting from. And if possible, just share one more time the reason why you're here, your expectations. What do you expect? What do you want to go home with today? Please go to the chat box and let me know. Thank you so, so much for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please go to the chat box. I would like to read. Where are you joining us from? Fantastic. Tina says she's joining us from Abuja. What are your expectations today, Tina? Sometimes I like to go to places with just an open mind, no expectation. But then, what are you expecting today? What do you want to see? Thank you, Igbo Prayer, for joining us from Abuja. Wow. Please tell us where you are joining us from. And of course, let us know exactly what your expectations are for today. Thank you very much. Please go to the chat box. Wow, Stella is joining us from Abuja, and I'm here to learn and improve myself. Fantastic. I'm very open and ready to learn. Dorothy from Malawi, thank you so much. I am also very open and ready to learn from every one of you here today. Yes, I'm really ready to learn from everyone present here today. I'm not just coming here to say, I want to tell you everything. No, it's a new year. And I'm set to be part of new connections also. So yes, go to the chat box and tell me what your expectations are and where you're reaching us for. Fantastic to be the best version of myself and possibly positively impact others too. Fantastic. That is the whole idea of personal growth and development. If you're growing and you're not growing others, then you're not growing. All right. Thank you so much for that. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Gemi says she's reaching us from Lagos and to be a better me. Yes, fantastic. I love that. To be a better you. Olutayo is joining us from Abuja. She says she's here or he is here to learn, relearn, and of course, unlearn. Fantastic. That's one of the major things we must learn to do. New things are happening, so we're ready to open our minds today and just learn. Just learn. All right. So I want to thank God and I want to thank you for signing up today. I really want to take this opportunity to commit the whole of this program into the hands of the Almighty God, who has given us the opportunity, honestly, to be alive today. And we are praying, talking to Him, and asking Him that He should please make all the network good and working so that we can have an amazing time today. So we would like to commit the network into the hands of the Almighty God. We would like to commit our hearts, our hearing, everything into the hands of God so that everything will go smoothly and just the reason why we're here, our expectation, our purpose will be met. And we will leave here today a better version of ourselves. Someone that has come to learn, unlearn, and of course, going out today to see how they are going to be acting others. So really, I want to say very big welcome to Beyond Success. It's a leadership and personal development training that is organized by the John Maxwell team. And of course, it's brought to you by the Transformational Parenting Academy, which I happen to also be the CEO, and apart from being certified John Maxwell coach, trainer, and speaker. Please make sure you turn down the volume of your, okay, please try not to mute yourself or mute yourself if you're not speaking. All right, so we are really very thrilled to have you as a part of this transformative journey. It's 2024, and of course, we are all set to explore the depth of leadership, personal growth, and of course, the principles that go beyond traditional success. If you agree with me, one thing that we lack in Africa is leadership. And I'm glad that you're here to be led by John Maxwell, who is, of course, the world-renowned leadership coach, trainer, and speaker and author. So this training promises to be a catalyst for positive change in both your personal and professional life. At the end of the 6 weeks, I hope that we'll be able to help you learn the following, which is understanding leadership beyond success, your personal growth, have strategy for lasting impact, making goals and be able to achieve them. We're going to be able to share some of those strategies with you. We're going to see how we can build effective communication skills. We can see how we can unleash your potential when it comes to leadership. And of course, connecting with a network of like-minded persons. If you're just joining us, please go to the chat box and tell me where you're joining us from. Because as we prepare to embark on this journey of self-development, skills enhancement, and of course, networking with individuals who share the same commitment with us, because for you to register alone and be here is because you believe in this program and we are all like-minded people, right? So because we're here, I hope that you and I will be committed to what we have signed for. 6 weeks of learning, relearning, and of course, on learning. So what do I want you to do? I want you to come with an open mind. I want you to be ready to absorb new ideas, new strategies, and of course, respect and learn other perspective to the things that you know already. I want you to engage actively. And what does that mean? Please and please participate in all discussions that will take place today. Ask questions and feel very free to share insights, because the truth is we don't know all. There's something you know that will help me grow in 2024. It will be good for you to share your insights. I also want you to feel very free to connect, because connection and collaboration is what rules the world today. So connect with other participants here. The truth is, you never know where these connections will take you to and the changes it will bring in your life in 2024. And finally, I want you to make sure you have your pen, you have your notepad, you have a cup of water or a cup of tea or anything that you use to whet your appetite in case you get to choke with the things you're going to be hearing today. All right, we are confident that Beyond Success will be a milestone in your leadership and, of course, your personal development journey. If you grow, your family will grow. You'll be a better parent. You'll be a better colleague. Of course, you'll be a better worker. And of course, your business will also grow. So please feel very free to ask questions in our WhatsApp group or drop any comments you want. And I promise you that we're going to be able to get back to you. So on that note, I really want to once more say thank you and welcome. So if you don't mind, I want you to go to the your emoji, select your most beautiful emoji that you want to give to someone today, and just write on the chat box, "This love is for you." All right, so please, everyone, just go to the chat box and share. My love is for every one of you. Solomon, thank you for sharing love with us today. Thank you, Solomon. I can see you. Thank you. Who else is sharing love with us today? Wow, Baby Sola, thank you. You're next to share your love. Oh my God, Oluwashola, thank you for sharing that love with us. And of course, Techno, I need to know your name. Techno Pova, Neo, please give us your real name. Sharon, thank you so much for sharing that love with us. Philip, what's happening? You don't love us? Oh, please share some love, Philip. Thank you, Dorothy. I'm waiting for you. Share some love with us too. Fountain School, yes, but I need to know your name too. So thank you. Stella, I'm waiting for you. If you're not sharing love, that means that you are not here. You're not hearing me. Please share some love, okay? Thank you so much. We'll go straight now to to start our class. And the first person who is going to be speaking to us today is John Maxwell himself. So the rule of the game is this. While he's speaking, I want you to write down some of the things that make sense, some of the things that excites you, some of the things that you're hearing for the first time, some of the things that resonates with something, that touches a core in you. I want you to write it down, because immediately after speaking, we will have opportunity to share those things. And then we will look at what next can we do to be a better person. So the heading and the theme for the first lesson today is attitude. Attitude. What do you understand by attitude? I want to hear your dimension while I go to look for John Maxwell to tell him we're ready so that he can speak with us today. So go to the chat box and tell me, what is attitude? We're going to be learning the value of attitude. How will this value help me to be a better person in 2024? How will it help me? I'm here to learn. I may know what it is, but how do I practice it? How do I, make it a lifestyle? How do I make attitude a lifestyle? So go to the chat box. I would like to read quickly some of your response to me. Oh, my love to everyone. Thank you, Philip. All right, go to the chat box and tell me, what do you understand by the word attitude? What do you understand by the word attitude? Please go to the chat box and let me know. What do you understand by the word attitude? Yes. Okay, I want you to put it on your chat box. I see Philip is writing it in his book. Philip, you don't want me to see your expo. Please write it on the chat box so that I'll know what does it mean. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What do you understand by attitude? Please just go to the chat box and share with me what you understand by the word attitude. Okay, I like this. Attitude is your personal character, your personality. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. All right. Who else want to say something while I'm trying to set my screen and prepare us for today? Yes. Who else want to share with me? I am Mrs. Ijoma. Thank you, Mrs. Ijoma. Okay, that's fantastic. Attitude is one's disposition to things, and it could be positive or negative. Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing. All right, let's deep dive into what we are here for today, and that is to learn. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, can we just welcome my friend, my coach, and my mentor, John C. Maxwell. Let's put our hands.
I'm excited about the opportunity ahead for you to learn, to interact, to take action, to grow. And today's session is on attitude. And I have a question for you. What determines in your life when you have a good day or a good week or a good year? I mean, what is it that kind of gauges that it was something good that was happening to you? Well, I can guarantee you it's not your circumstances and it's not your finances. I know a lot of people who are poor but very happy and have a great attitude. I know a lot of people that are rich and are really miserable. You don't even want to really be around them. And I can tell you that it's not the people around you that truly make you happy. My wife Margaret and I several years ago were doing a conference and we were in a Q&A period, and one of the ladies looked at Margaret and asked her the question, does John make you happy? I'll never forget her response. She looked immediately back at the lady and said, no, he doesn't make me happy. And I looked at Margaret and I said, kind of explain yourself. Now, I don't know if you've ever asked somebody to explain themselves, but if you have, sometimes when they do that, when they explain themselves, you wish you really wouldn't have asked them to explain themselves. And as soon as I said, Margaret, explain yourself to the audience here, she said, I realized in the first 6 months that John would never make me happy. And you can tell we're not going the right way. We're going downhill kind of fast. And then she said, because for the first 6 months of our marriage, that's exactly what I expected him to do, make me happy. I was teaching in school, and he was in his first pastorate, and I'd come home from school and say, we'll have dinner together, and he'd call me from the hospital, and somebody had a wreck, and he wasn't going to be able to come home for dinner, or I was coming home, and I was having to grade papers, and stuff just kept getting in the way, and I kept saying, he'll make me happy, he'll make me happy, he'll make me happy. And then about 6 months into the marriage, she said, I one day awakened myself and realized the only person that could make me happy is me. And then she said, the moment that I determined that it was my responsibility to make me happy, it was my responsibility to have the right attitude about me, she then looked at me and smiled and said, and John has added immeasurably to my happiness. That was close, wasn't it? What Margaret was saying is what I want every one of us to understand, and that is that the only person that can control your attitude is you. You're in total control of it. And the world that you see right now is colored by the attitude that you have. And I tell people all the time, and this is exciting to me to share this with you, the fastest way for you to change your life is to change your attitude. I think all of us have times in our life where we say, well, I need to make a change in it. And when people come to me and talk to me about that, I look at them and I smile and I say, the biggest and the quickest way to change your entire life is to change the attitude you have. And I call my attitude the difference maker. And what I mean by that is the fact that attitude isn't everything, but it's the main thing. It's the thing that allows us to change the way we see others and the way we see ourselves. And when I talk about the fact that it's not everything, please understand, there are people who will tell you that everything is attitude, but it's not. I mean, attitude won't make up for incompetence. If you're incompetent, it's not going to help you keep your job just because you have a good attitude. I guess the good news is when you get fired, you'll still be happy. I don't know, but it isn't going to make up it isn't going to make up for the lack of experience that you have in your life. But attitude is the one thing in your life that when you're close, it's going to put you over the top. I mean, just think about it for a moment. If you're going to hire two people and both of them had great experience, both of them had great skill level, but one had a great attitude, one had a poor attitude, who are you going to hire? You're going to hire the person with a good attitude. It was the difference maker. It gives you that positive edge in your life if it's a good attitude. Now, the great news that I have for you is that your attitude and my attitude is a choice. And you and I are responsible for that choice. And to be honest with you, I run into a lot of adults, they don't understand that. Somehow they think that the attitude that they have right now was given to them by someone else. Well, if you had my boss, you wouldn't like your job, you'd have a bad attitude. Or you lived with my spouse, you wouldn't have a good attitude. People don't give you a bad attitude. You give it to yourself, and you're responsible for it. When I was a little child, my favorite story as a little kid was The Little Engine That Could. And it was all about this little engine that had to climb a big hill, and no one thought that engine had a chance, that little train, to get up to the top. But that little guy says, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. He's going chugging up that hill as good as he can, and after much effort and perseverance and some time, he gets to the top, and I thought I could. I thought I could. And as a little kid, I would just tell that story and read that story all the time, because I understood that within that story was an attitude that was a difference maker. So as I've studied successful people, they have 5 attitude traits that really do make up the difference in their life. One is they're just plain positive. What I mean by that is that they see things in a better perspective, in a better way, in a better light. And they say things in a better perspective, in a better way, in a better light than anyone else. I grew up in a home that was filled with positive attitude. My father who is still alive at 95 and is still positive in life. It's amazing. I saw him the other day. He had a fall. He broke 6 ribs, went into some major rehab. And so I visited him during those times, but he was able finally to go to lunch with me. So I took him out to lunch. He's got his walker. He's sitting down across the table from me. And he's saying, John, I'm right now still in rehab. I've still got to have 24-hour care. But he leaned forward to me. He didn't want me to miss this. He said, I've got my walker here. And he said, what I want you to know, John, more than anything else is, I'm happy. And I looked at my father and I said to myself, his name's Melvin. I always want to be like Melvin. In spite of 24-hour care, 6 ribs broken at the age of 95, he's still happy. You see, your attitude will control everything of how you see things and see life and see people and see yourself. Another trait of people that have really a good attitude is they're teachable. In my book, Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn, I talk about a teachable spirit, which basically is a spirit of wanting to learn. A person that's teachable is always hungry, wants to learn. And so therefore, they're always ready to learn from anybody they're around, any situation, any experience. They have a teachable spirit. Thirdly, people with great attitudes are solution-focused. You tell me and show me a person with the right kind of an attitude, and here's what they know. There's always an answer. There's an answer. And they're going to find it, and they're going to figure it out. And they don't have it now, and that's okay, because they still believe there's always an answer. And that belief of always an answer allows them to be persistent and overcome obstacles and barriers. And they find opportunity, because what I discovered many times is that surrounding opportunity is all kind of problems and obstacles. Opportunity never stands alone with welcome arms saying, there's nothing to pay here, there's nothing to do here, just come, it's easy for you. There's always a price to pay and a barrier to climb over. Number 4, people with a great attitude are persistent. What I mean by that is the fact that they're never down. They're either up or they're getting up. What that means is they get knocked down, but they don't stay down. They're always ready to rise up and meet another day with a good attitude. And finally, I think that people with great attitude are grateful. They have what I call an attitude of gratitude. And what I mean by that is very simple, that they realize that God is their source, and that the things that they have in life are a blessing to them, and they look at them as a blessing. When our grandchildren were really small, we did a little Thanksgiving program, and my little grandson John, his part of the Thanksgiving program was to memorize some stuff on attitude and on gratitude and how he was grateful at Thanksgiving. He had 3 or 4 lines, and he was trying to get it, but he wasn't getting it really good. And finally came to me and said, Papa, he said, this gratitude stuff is exhausting. It's just exhausting. It's hard for me to know all this stuff. Well, it may be exhausting, but it's the only way to live, because it's the way for us to understand that every good and perfect gift comes from God and from others around us. You see, we cannot control our circumstances, but we can control our choices. And I would encourage you today, right now, at this moment, choose a positive attitude, because it's a difference maker. It's a difference maker for you. It's a difference maker for me. It's a difference maker for every person that's with you today at your round table. So now let's just take a moment and see what's coming up. You see, after each lesson, there will be a round table on that day's subject. For example, I just taught you on attitude, and so you're going to go into a round table where you're going to talk about attitude. And I want you to talk honestly about yourself. You're among friends, just, the good, the bad. Here's where my attitude really is good. Here's where my attitude's really bad. And as you're sitting in that round table, listen to others, because every person at that table has something that they're going to teach you. You're going to learn from each other and from each other's experiences. And as you're listening and as you're learning, I want you to choose what you're going to apply. What fits for my life? What do I need to take away from this round table discussion? And most important, take action. Because that's where change occurs. Change doesn't occur when I think about it or even when I talk about it. It's when I do it. All transformation is a result of action. So that's where change occurs. So be sure that at the end of the round table, there's something that you're going to do immediately that'll make your life a little bit better in this area of attitude. So enjoy today's round table.
Thank you very much. Can we say big thank you, thank you, thank you very much to John Maxwell for sharing that with us this afternoon. Thank you so, so much. Wow. Wow. All right, is anybody learning something today, please? Wow, wow, wow. See, Madam Ijoma cannot wait. Madam Ijoma talk.
Well,
Talk.
I learned a lot today, and actually, I'm glad to be here. And for me, attitude is everything in life. It's 100% of who you are. Like our leader said, he said, is what makes you great. Your it touches every aspect of you. Your leadership, your relationship, your lifestyle is everything about your life. So if it's great, then you are good to go. So another thing I learned that a person of good attitude never gets knocked down. You can't be knocked down in life. You stay successful. So attitude is everything about life. So it's a very great section. And then it helps you to be a solution provider. You know, when you have a good attitude, you have solutions, you can offer solutions to people, and your solution focused. So I like it a lot.
I love that a lot, honestly, because most people are just focused on the problem. See what you've done, Nigeria, this, everything, you know. But we don't think about, okay, what is the solution? You know, how can we focus on the solution? So that's, you said, is really, really very beautiful. People who have great attitude, they are actually solution focused. Thank you so much. Let me give 2-3 other people opportunity to just share quickly with us what they learned. Thank you. Can we give Madam Ijoma some love? That was amazing. Thank you. I see your hand up, Philip. Philip, please unmute yourself and share with us your take so far.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can, Philip.
All right, thank you, madam, for the opportunity to be part of this and to be participating. I'm at work, but I'm just trying to squeeze out time to be part of this. I don't want to miss out at all.
Honestly,
there's an impression. There's an impression that John C. Maxwell corrected. I read this book on Attitude 101. He said it in his book. He said, attitude is not really everything, but attitude is the main thing. But I used to think that attitude is everything. I've quoted it a lot of times when I write on social media. Attitude is everything. Attitude is not really everything, but it's the main thing. It's the main thing. He said that, and he said attitude is a game changer. Attitude is what makes is the difference between me and you. The difference between Mr. A and Mr. B is attitude. We have bad attitude, we have good attitude. So that's what makes life what it is. Where we are today is as a result of our attitude. And attitude, they don't just follow us. These are things that we learn over time. And if you want to change your entire life, you change your attitude. And I believe if you want to change people around you, whatever I'm trying to change people around you, what you do is to change your attitude. And everything and everybody just follows suit. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Philip.
Just keep learning.
Thank you. Thank you. We had 6 weeks together and I'm learning from you also. Thank you. I used to make that mistake. I tell people, oh, attitude is everything. I work with young people, a lot of them, and I say, look, you're having a very bad attitude. Then you don't know attitude is everything. But when Maxwell had to correct me, you know, and said, no, it is important, but it's not everything. And so we're going to be looking at other things that we can add to our attitude that will make us an awesome person. So thank you for sharing that with us. One more person before we go further. One more person who would like to share, just raise your hand. You can use the raise hand emoji. You can also use the raise hand emoji. Any other person want to share? Okay. No other person want to share? All right, let's go ahead. Remember, take a notebook and write down the things that learning so that together we can share. Okay? Remember, when you share with me, I share with you, I improve and increase in my perspective to life, and I become better and become more. All right, so your attitude affects your outlook to life. When you choose to focus on positive things in your environment and you surround yourself with positivity, of course, the possibilities to excel in life becomes increasing. So choosing a positive attitude about your current situation enables you to see the future circumstances in a positive light. And this is so true. In 2018, I was going through a whole lot of roller coaster in my life. Tired from work, I was frustrated by a whole lot of things. You know, I had landlord issues, I had children dropping out of school issues because, you know, there was an increase in dollars and my salary couldn't meet up. It was a very frustrating period in my life, 2017. To the extent that it was so bad, I had to resign from my job. Looking back now, I felt I had a better attitude to the outlook of things that were happening to me. Some of the steps I took, I wouldn't have taken them. But I'm grateful where I am today. Because that's 2017, when I resigned my job, I just went to sit down. And I did a lot of praying. I did a lot of talking to God. Why am I here? In fact, it's a story for another day, the things that really happened to me that season. And in the process, I came across the John Maxwell team. And I really wanted to grow myself. You know, it began to change my attitude to a lot of things. I had to take my daughter from the US and said to her, look, girl, sit down. I had to be honest with my children. And I said, look, we can't afford this fee. What else can we do? We're so happy that we're able to now transfer to Europe, where the fee was lesser, but the education was equally very good. And that was how my daughter finally graduated as a medical doctor. The positive attitude helped us to have a better outlook to life and say, look, it's not about, oh, what will people say? I started schooling in the US, and what would they say now that I'm going to go back to school in Europe? I said, look, so that the most important thing is your dream, which is to become a medical doctor. You're going to achieve it. It doesn't matter where and how. We'll look for the best. But right now, instead of saying, I don't want to be a doctor again because I'm not graduating from the US, I'm going to say, look at it from this point of view. I will end up being a medical doctor, and my challenges will form part of my story and my testimony. I will form who I am today. And that was how we started the journey. A journey that was supposed to take 7 years, took 9 years. But today, she's a certified medical doctor. So our attitude is important. It precedes our action. Actions are always an outcome of our expression, and truly inner expression, not just the facial expression. If attitude becomes your lifestyle, honestly, everything you do will come from your inside. The way you feel about your given circumstances, the way you impact others, the way you react, all this as an output of your attitude. Your attitude also enhances your relationships. I want somebody to please just unmute themselves and read this for me. Your attitude enhances your relationship. Who would like to do that? Someone quickly read for us. Your attitude enhances.
Your attitude enhances your relationships. Your attitude regarding people will impact your relationships with them. If you start with a negative attitude about a person, you will tend to focus on all of their negative qualities. A positive attitude about a person causes you to focus on their positive qualities. By choosing to see someone in a positive light, you will act toward them in a positive manner. They will usually respond in kind.
Fantastic. And that is so true. How many of you want to agree with me with this statement that your attitude enhances your relationship, because when you see somebody from a positive light, it kind of dim the negative and downplays the negative. As a parent, I'm a parenting coach, so I'll talk a little bit about that. I want to ask you, when your daughter or your son misbehaves, what do you focus on? The misbehavior, or you look for the reason why this child is behaving like that? That will determine if that child will learn a lesson from what you're trying to teach. But when you enhance the negative, what do you get in return? They don't always respond in kindness. No child will say, I love you, mommy, for shouting at me or for talking about all the bad things I do. They will always love you for saying, I know I misbehaved. I'm just a child, I'm learning. They'll come back to you and embrace you. Thank you, mommy, for talking to me with such kindness. Daddy, thank you very much. You know, that thing I did, I knew it was bad. I'm just looking at you, but you know what? You did not disgrace me in presence of my friends. You saved the day. There's no way that that child will not become your friend or love you. Our attitude means our relationship. What about our relationship with our spouse or our relationship with those who work with us? Let's try to see what we can do differently. Yes, someone else, please, can you read this for us? Your attitude alters your outcomes. Somebody, please, can you read this for us? Who wants to read?
Attitude alters your outcomes. In
All
his
right, go
book,
ahead.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
In his book, The Winning Attitude, John C. Maxwell states, our attitude at the beginning of a task will affect its outcome more than anything else. Whether you are choosing to be cheerful about a task or choosing to believe in your ability to accomplish it, a positive attitude empowers you to do your best work. It makes team interaction go more smoothly, and very frequently, it delivers the results that you desire. Expecting the best usually results. Expecting the best usually results in the best. Thinking positively on the front end is critical to success.
So you understand what that means. If you're always expecting the best, your result will always be the best. So that's what that explains. Fantastic. Thank you so much. So when you develop a positive attitude, you experience the following. You are content and you enjoy life more. You inspire others to achieve more together. You attract people who exhibit the same qualities. You see opportunities in every situation. You usually exhibit gratitude towards others, and you keep pushing until you succeed. Maxwell said, it's one thing to fall, but it's another thing to rise. An attitude is actually what determines whether you will rise or you will remain where you are. All right, so what are the steps we can take for you and I to form a positive attitude, or to improve on our attitude, or to work on our attitude? All right, so I'll need somebody to please read for us steps to follow. Yes, who would like to read?
Steps to follow.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Ifeanyi.
Number one, talk to yourself. The most important person to listen to
Who is reading? Stella, you are the one reading.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's have somebody else read, please. Can we?
Okay.
Thank you, love. Thank you. All right, who else would like to read for us? Should I call?
Let me read.
All right, go ahead.
Philip.
Thank you. All right, Philip, go ahead.
Okay, steps to follow. Talk to yourself. The most important person to listen to is yourself. What you tell yourself about your situation is either an anchor that holds you back or a sail that propels you forward. Choose to think positive thoughts. When negative thoughts arise, respond to them with positivity. Tell yourself something positive in response. Don't let the negative voices inside your mind influence you to see things negatively. Immediately find the positive in the situation before moving forward. Remember, you can choose what you think. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Philip. Thank you for that. Yes, I love the way you all read. Thank you. All right, who is someone else? Please do number 2 for us. Number 2, choose positive relationships over negative ones. Hi, there are too many toxic people around. Yes, who is reading for us? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, number 2, choose positive.
Infinix, your network is cracking. Your network is cracking, Infinix. Can we get, yeah, please try and do something about it. Then you can read number 3 for us. Somebody else, number 2, quickly. Go ahead. Abibola, you want to read for us? Please, I need someone to read number 2 for us quickly. Remember, if we finish the class or not, I'm going to stop at 1:30. So let's collaborate, let's cooperate so that we can achieve a whole lot, because I will come back to this lesson again. So if you miss it, you either join next cohort or you repeat and you will get the certificate if we don't finish it. All right, Dorothy, go ahead.
Think about the people that you spend a lot of time with. Are their attitudes primarily positive or negative? Attitude is contagious. So you should spend as much time as possible with people who choose to think positively. Their willingness to see the good in a situation will encourage you to make the same choice. If your circumstances don't allow you to completely avoid negative people, then seek out positive people and spend time with them to counteract negative influences in your life.
Fantastic. Wow. Someone please read. Well, read the 3rd one for us. We're looking at what do we do? Steps to follow, right? Steps to follow. The first one we said, talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Choose to think positive thoughts. The second one we said, choose the positive relationships over negative one. And so this 3rd one we're saying, feed your faith and starve your fears. Who is reading for us, please? Quickly. Thank you, Gbemisola. Go ahead.
Choosing a positive attitude is challenging at first. It's especially difficult if you haven't been filling your mind with positive input. If you have been if you are starved of anything positive, then you need to start feeding yourself a registered diet of motivational material. Read books that listen to affirming messages. The more negative you are, the more negative you are, the longer it will take to turn your attitude around. But if you consume a steady diet of the right mental food, you can become a positive thinker. Wow.
Fantastic. And that is so true, guys. That is so true. That is so true. All right, so I would have loved us to take a few minutes to do this, but that's going to be your assignment. You're going to be sharing with me what you have learned today, something you underline that is important to you. So you're going to do that, send it to me an assignment, and don't forget, your attitude to anything you do determines your success in life. So sometimes we don't pay attention to these things. We want our children to do the assignments, but we forget to do our own assignments. So please make sure that you do this assignment. Take time to tell me some of the things you underlined, some of the things you learned today, and then you will share it with us. So we're going to use the few minutes to do our evaluation today. And that is in the scale of 1 to 10. Go to the chat box and tell me, how do you rate yourself? In a scale of 1 to 10, in this issue of attitude, how do you rate yourself? The first time I started, honestly, no matter how much I knew, I rated myself a 4. So go to the chat box and tell me, how much do you rate yourself and why are you giving yourself that rating? Go to the chat box quickly. Tell me, how do you rate yourself in this attitude that we have learned today? How do you rate yourself and why are you giving yourself that rating? Can we quickly go ahead and do that? Yes, yes, yes. What would you rate yourself? I want to see the figures coming in. What do you want to rate yourself? 1, 2, 3, 4. What will you rate yourself? And why will you give yourself that rating? Yes, Ijoma says she rates herself 6 over 10. Why do you rate yourself 6 over 10? And what do you think you need to do that will improve you to move from that 6 upward? All right, so go ahead and tell me. Focus, everybody, focus. Infinite says you're rating yourself 5. Why do you rate yourself 5? And what do you think you can do to up your rating from 5? Quickly, quickly, let's go, let's go, let's go. Thank you so much, Ijoma. Thank you so much, Phoenix. Who else? Who else? Stella says she rates herself 8 because this is because over time I've been able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Fantastic, fantastic. And I see that in you because that was the first thing you told me that you're here for. Oh, Oluwashola said, I rate myself 8. I don't keep grudges and I respect people's opinion. Fantastic, fantastic. So every one of you rating yourself, you just realize that there's a lot to learn. Dorothy, I love you. You're so honest, and that is the truth. You know, if there's anybody who would like to, not ourselves. Thank you so much, Dorothy. He says, Solomon said, I rate myself 7. This is because there are a few areas that you need to work on. 3, coming from you, Baby Sola, you said you rate yourself 3. Fantastic. Thank you for being honest. Now, what can you do to go to the next level? Maybe 3.1, 3.2, or 8.1, 8.2, or what can you do? Because life is continuous, learning is continuous. So we cannot rate ourselves 10 over 10 because we're still learning. Hey, look, the thing that tells that there are things in life actually that really try to checkmate us every time. There's sometimes circumstances in life will come. How do you react to it? We determine, oh, have I improved? Have I not improved? I can tell you, certain things happened in my life recently, this 2023, and I look at myself and say, God, you don't improve. Oh. Leave that before. Hey, God. You know, now I'm not shaking at certain things that happen. No matter how it happens, I try to keep a good head so I can think. I can think and find solution. You know, I'm not ponder, you know, and dwell on it, on the past. Yes, I rated myself 5 because I'm learning how to look at the brighter side of life. All right. So Ijoma says I need to read more books. I find fine. And this is a platform where we can share more books with you. If you stay on as we go on, we'll share a whole lot of learnings that I share from the John Maxwell team. I'm very glad to share with you because that is part of what attitude is. Someone with a negative attitude will always want to store knowledge. No, but I'm glad to share with you. It's only if you're ready to learn. All right, because I get easily offended at people's behavior. I know. Me, you get offended, I get irritated. I used to get irritated. Feed myself with positive thoughts. Yes, and that is it. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. All right. Wow. So who is one person you know? Because one thing I've learned in life, if you have mentors, if you have people you look up to, it is easier for you to work on something when you're struggling. So who is one person you know that exemplifies this behavior and you really want to look up to that person? Let the person be like your checkmate. Let the person be like, you know, the person that, you know, checkmates you, where you remember, oh, I committed myself to the beyond success, that look, I'm good. This is one person I admire and I'm going to, you know, fashion myself towards that. You know, so share with me one person you admire, these qualities, and you would like to use that person as your checkmate. All right, go ahead. Who is one person? What do you admire most in this person? Please go ahead and share with me quickly. Quickly. Who is sharing? Who do you know that exemplifies this attitude? And what do you most admire about them and that you would like to learn? All right, who is sharing now? All right, let's go. Let's go. We're thinking, right? Sometimes this particular portion takes a little bit of thinking. You'll be cracking your head. Who has a very positive attitude that I would like to learn from? Me, it was that time it was one of my pastors, Pastor Isaac. Wow, the way he sees life. I remember that was the time I was going through my crisis. I went to sit down in his office. I cried. Just needed somebody I wanted to talk to. So I sat down in his office. And then the minute I opened my mouth, I started crying. He kept quiet. He was looking at me. And he was asking, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? He walked me through my dark moments in life. Another person was my children. I just thought that probably family around me, they would freak out. No, but everybody was so supportive. They watched me go through my process, you know, until I became strong. And so who are those people that you admire? Yes, anybody sharing with us who they admire? Quickly. All right. All right, okay. If we can't remember anybody, let's go to the last question. What specific action can you take immediately that improve your rating? Oh, some of us, Philip said my pastor and my family. Wow, Philip, me and you, we have some similarities. Honestly, they were my greatest assets in that moment of my life. Belinda, my daughter, wow, she does not accept anything negative. I think I really want to meet Belinda. And the same thing with my daughter too. Oh, fantastic. Joyce Meyer and Mama Faith, fantastic. Honestly, if some of you have read that story, Deliverance from, what's that, her book? There's this book by Mama Faith Oyedepo, when she shared the story of her life, when she had this terrible sickness, the darkest moments of the family life. Wow. Jasmia is someone I admire too. As a young girl, I read a lot of her books. Thank you, Bemisola, for sharing that. Oh, yes, Rescue for Destruction. That's the book. That's the book. Thank you. Wow, I see you really follow her. All right, who else? My husband, always positive and strong. I'm so happy for you, Precious. Honestly, there's nothing as having a spouse that has that attitude. If not, you know, who will be rescuing, who will be helping who? Thank you so much, Bishop David Oyedepo. Fantastic. Thank you. So please, yes, Bishop Miles, thank you. Correct. I'm sure you've read the story of his life. Thank you so much. Olorun Shola said her husband, I am happy for you. I'm happy for Precious. Both of you are really blessed, honestly. So please, after you leave here, don't be saying this is your positive attitude there. No, go and embrace them and say, look, I want to learn more from you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. All right. So, but Reverend Chris, yes, thank you. I think he's one man I see that has faced a lot of backlashing, but he still keeps going. He's not looking at, I'm not a member of his church, but I've read his book, which he said the positive mind, that's positive attitude. I think he wrote a book on that also. Thinking positive. Yes, the power of your mind. I've read that book. Yes, I've read it. And honestly, when I did that, I now really saw why he's succeeding, irrespective of the fact that a lot of people do not align with his thoughts. But he's still going because of his attitude to life. Thank you so much. Janet, sorry, you're just joining us. Maybe what I'll do for you is I'll allow you join Thursday class for only the first lesson, and then you come back next week to join your Tuesday class. All right. All right, Velvet, I know, I agree with you. Ask everybody, you missed a lot. We got to go now. So I want you to go back home. I want to see this as your lessons. Remember, thank you too. These are your lessons. Please share with us your self-evaluation, including the steps you would take to improve in this area of your life. Please, I want to see your assignment. Please, please, please. I want to see your assignment. You have between today and next week to submit your assignment. But the earlier you submit it, the better, because I'm going to ask you what you would do by the time you come for our next lesson. I'm going to ask you how far you went to practice this attitude. All right? How far you went to practice this attitude and how much you have improved. Okay? So I want to thank every one of you for staying tuned. I see that some of us network was throwing you in and out. Don't worry. We have committed the network into the hands of God, and I know that He will help us. We'll also see what we can do, to help you be more. All right? So, yes, the assignment, are we submitting the assignment? Sure, you're submitting it. I hope you're on the platform. I will open, the platform is open, so you submit your assignment, or you can send it to me directly, but it's better you put it on the platform. Sometimes some people complain that people copy from them. We're all adults here. I don't expect us to go and copy other people's assignment. So what's the assignment? The assignment is what you see under. Let me go forward. The assignment is, what did you underline while the class was going on? So send us some of the things you underlined that you learned that were shocking to you. Philip said he has always shared with people that attitude is everything, but today he learned something different and he shared with us. So please make sure that you're not sharing now. Philip is more than 2 sentences. So you're sharing everything you underlined while we're learning. And of course, what you're going to do differently, to improve on your attitude. So that first line, and of course, step 5. Step 5 is going to be your assignment. Share with us, from the responses you have in your evaluation, share with us the steps you're going to take to improve on your area. We're 3 minutes past time. I want to apologize for taking 3 minutes extra of your time. Please forgive me. Next week, we're going to start earlier and we'll go straight. We're not going to wait for anybody. So if you don't come in the first 3 minutes, you are missing out. All right? So thank you very much. Any final words? Anybody want to share a final word with us? Thank you so much. I really enjoyed all of you that shared. I learned some things today. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. You're so vulnerable. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, too. Thank you for the class. God bless you, too. Thank you. So please, I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll see you next Tuesday. And I just want to give you an heads up. We're going to be looking at a topic that is so crucial for our 2024. And we're going to be learning trade secrets to improve on our personal decision and personal growth. Please, can we get the recorded video? We'll think about it. We'll share it with you when we are done with our 6 weeks. Trust me, we'll think about sharing it with you. Let me consult. I will know if we're going to share it with you, okay? We'll see what we can do about that. So when you're sending your assignment, also include your email address so that if it's possible, then I will email it to you, okay? So don't forget to do that, all right? So when you're sending your assignment, the way you respond, the way you submit your assignment will determine if I'm going to send you the video also. So this applies to everybody, okay? Truly, though I'm not trying to be hard, I just want us to really learn. Because when you become a better version of yourself, your family will enjoy you. Your staff will enjoy you. Your children will, your people will enjoy you. I'm enjoying myself and I'm seeing the positive attitude in the lives of my family and people around me. And for those of you whose children have been on my platform, the Transformational Parenting Academy, you can testify how much I love them and my level of patience with them, because I am patient with myself. I'll see you next week. God bless you and bye-bye. Put it on the WhatsApp group. On the WhatsApp group, please. Everybody, put your assignment, add your email address to it on the WhatsApp group. God bless you. See you next week. Bye-bye.